Hey friend, it is Brandon Gustafson with Assisted Living Investing. Excited to have you here on the channel today. Today we're going to be talking about raising money from with investors, how to go about doing that. At Assisted Living Investing, I help beginners like you launch their assisted living business in the next 12 months, and so this is one of those things that a lot of people have questions about and need some guidance with. So really excited to be sharing that with you today. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen into the scene. So as I mentioned, we're going to be raising money for assisted living, for investing in assisted living. And I want to remind you to go grab the free business plan checklist. You can go grab that at assistedlivinginvesting.net/BP checklist. It's a checklist that I put together that kind of helps you out along your journey as you're trying to build out your business plan. You really need to focus on building out the business foundation for everything that you're doing, and that checklist is a really good way to help you out as you're trying to get things up and running. So wanted to share that with you there as well. And for those of you who are new to the channel, want to just kind of introduce myself a little bit. Um, my name is Brandon Gustafson. I own and operate two assisted living facilities. I have been doing this since 2020, and I do that out of state. So I live in Utah. My facilities are in Colorado and in Idaho, so they're a ways away from me, and I'm able to operate those remotely. Have been in the healthcare industry now for about over a decade. I have a lot of experience just kind of in the healthcare industry. Have secured over $1.5 million in SBA funding as well through the process of getting in here and just kind of running my business. So I've got a lot of experience there, and have a lot of just kind of background in the healthcare industry and know what I'm talking about. If you are new to the channel, type in newbie down below. Would love to see who is new here and how I can help you out. Just type in the thing that you need the most at this point in your journey. What are you struggling with the most? I'd love to hear that a little bit about that. And for those that are here live, we do these videos live every Tuesday. And if you are live with me, make sure you are typing in any questions that you have. We will have time at the end of the call here for Q&As as well. So let's get into the topic for today. We're talking about how to raise money, how to raise funds for investing in assisted living. I hear from a lot of you that are in the group, that are in Facebook, that chat with me on YouTube, that one of the big things that you struggle with the most is the funding piece. Like it's overwhelming, it's confusing, it's scary. And so I wanted to dive into this because this is something that I think can really help out a lot of you as you are trying to figure things out and really try to get things going and moving on your investment journey. So we're going to dive into that today. I'm going to shift over on this other side so I can get comments in case something comes up. All right. So what you need the money for as you are going through this process. There's so much that goes into starting an assisted living facility. You've got to buy the facility, number one, or buy a home, or buy the land or something. You have to buy the physical location. Unless you're going to be leasing from somebody, you're going to have to buy um, the property from somebody. You got to have this property so you can do assisted living. So that's number one. Number two is the operating costs. So as you're getting into this, you're going to need to have some funds available to you that are going to allow you to operate the business. I highly suggest that you have 2 to 6 months worth of operating costs upfront in the bank to help float as you are trying to get more residents into your home and get things to kind of level out and get to where you need them to be. So you need to have those operating costs covered. You want to make sure that you have enough in there so that you can breathe and know that everything's going to be okay. There's going to be licensing and startup costs. And while these are relatively small compared to the other ones, they can be a few $1,000s. And so it's something that you want to be aware of that it's something that you're going to have to spend a chunk of money between $5,000 and $10,000 probably, depending on the state, to get things moving. And so that's a chunk of money you got to have access to. And then you're going to need some access to capital as well to grow your business. And that could be two ways. One, marketing, if you need to go out and have some kind of a marketing budget to get your facility, your name out in front of people. Or number two, if you want to add more facilities and grow your portfolio. These are the types of things that you need money for as you are getting into this world of assisted living. Now, there's a lot of ways that you can do this, but what I want to focus on right here is how to prep for getting that funding. There's a few things that you've got to do, and it starts with the business foundation. So what you can do here is if you go check out some of the courses that I have, go to assistedlivinginvesting.net/BPG. I have a business planning guide that's going to talk about everything that I talk about here in the prepping for funding phase, the business foundation. That's what we're going to talk about. Or if you want to apply to my mastermind program, just go to alimastermind.com and it will take you to the application page. So alimastermind.com, you don't have to put that application at the end anymore. So alimastermind.com, that'll get you there. Now, as you're building out this business foundation, you need to have a few things. One is your business plan. When you're starting to work with lenders, whether it's a traditional lender or working with somebody that's like private funding, we're going to talk about those options here in just a second. They're going to want to see a business plan. They're going to want to see something that you're putting together. Now, if you need help with your business plan, type in business plan down below. Go grab that business plan checklist, assistedlivinginvesting.net/BP checklist. But for those of you that need help with the business plan, I'm working on something that will come out soon. That's a really inexpensive resource for you, like actually even less expensive than the business planning guide. That's going to help you move forward. So type in business plan if that's something that you need help with. You're going to want to run your financial projections. You can go to my website, assistedlivinginvesting.net, and grab the free underwriting calculator. It's going to help you out through that process. The business planning guide, again, goes through that calculator and helps you understand exactly what you need to do to run a successful business and make sure that the financials are in place. And you need to do your market research. You got to figure out, is this the right place for me? Are we trying to build something in the correct location from a market standpoint? Is it going to be able to support the amount of residents that I need to have for my facility? Is it oversaturated? Is it not? You got to perform that market research. So all of these things right here, business plan, financial projections, market research, they are your business foundations. And once you build that foundation, everything is going to go so much more smoothly. As you get into the next phases of this, when you're talking with zoning, trying to get your certificate of occupancy, or talking with lenders, or working on getting your license, everything that you've done here in the business foundation phase is going to feed from that, and it's going to make those processes so much more simple for you as you're trying to get things going. So I highly suggest that you spend a lot of time in this business foundation phase. Again, check out the business planning guide, assistedlivinginvesting.net/BPG, or if you need some help and want some guidance, want me to help you out through the process, go apply to the mastermind program at alimastermind.com, and I can help you out with that. Now, let's get into the funding options that you've got in front of you. So there's a few that are what I would call traditional funding options. Traditional funding is going to be bank loans, SBA loans, or just using your personal funds. Those are kind of the more traditional ways to fund something, is to go through that route. Now, bank loans, this could be something like a traditional or conventional mortgage if you're buying an existing home and then you're going to renovate it. Could be small business loans that are set up there with a bank to help you get some of that operating capital that you're going to need to help you get things up and running. The SBA can actually help you out with operating capital and purchasing the physical facility. There's a few different hoops that you have to jump through. It's a little more stringent than traditional financing, but it's definitely an option. I mean, I've done that. I've done 3 SBA loans, one over $1.5 million. But it's a really good option for you to get into, or personal funds. And this could be funds that you have in a HELOC, a home equity line of credit, or through, like a 401k, doing an advance on that. Or there's different ways that you can kind of get into this using funds that you have available to you through retirement or money you just put away or any number of things. Traditional funding how everybody thinks about getting started. For those of you that are watching this, you're like, all I can think about is banks and SBA loans, and if I had enough money myself to do this. And that's where your head is at. And I'm grateful for you to be here and to be thinking about that and trying to figure out exactly how that's going to work for you. But I also want to tell you, there's better ways to do this. There's better ways to get in and try to figure out the whole funding process. And that's what we wanted to talk about here. In the next slide, it does not work. And there we go, creative funding. Okay, so I want to talk to you a little bit about some creative funding things. So what I want you to think about here as you're thinking about creative funding is you've got private investors. So these are private individuals that want to give you money um, because they want to get into assisted living. They want to give back to the community in that way. They like investing in real estate and they're really interested in the assisted living niche. All of those types of things. These are private individuals that have money and they don't want to do all of the work, but they want to be involved. They want to have an impact. They want to make a difference and they want a good return on their money. And so they are willing to work with you. But they are going to want to see that business plan. They want to see that you have the experience, that you know what you're talking about. And that's why building that business foundation that I just talked about in the beginning is so important, because it doesn't matter if you're talking with an SBA lender or a private investor, they're still going to want to see where you want to go, what your vision is, and how you're going to achieve those things. So it's so important for you to build that foundation in a way that you feel confident in what you're talking about. So private investors is number one. Number two is going to be partnerships. So this could be something, this is actually how I got started. I have a partnership with my dad who had funds, some personal funds that allowed us to do the down payment on our home, and then we did SBA loans. And so we were able to work that out together. Now, that partnership is something that you're going to have to negotiate. This could be a 50-50 partner. It could be something that you've got 10 partners that are coming together. It could be you've got 2 people and you're going to negotiate how much ownership each one has. Everything there is up for negotiation. You just want to, if you're the person that doesn't have the funds, you're going to have to bring something to the table. And that could be all of the work. It could be the knowledge. It could be the background in healthcare. It could be the energy to go and get the thing done. You have to bring something to a partnership if you're going to have ownership in it. You can't just say, yeah, you bring the money and I'll fill out a little bit of this paperwork, but if you can do that as well, that would be great, and then we'll just be 50-50 owners. No, they're bringing the money to you, and now you've got to do a lot of the work. That's what you bring to the partnership. So you have to create a partnership that is equally beneficial to the parties that are going to be involved. It's very important for you to do that. But partnerships are a great way for you to get started here as well. Or there's grants as well. If you're interested in grants, I've talked about grants quite a bit here on the channel, especially lately. Type in grants down below. I'm going to be getting some really fun and exciting things out for you soon. And if you want the grant writing template, go to assistedlivinginvesting.net/grants. You can get that free underwriting template. But I've got some really fun and exciting things coming out in a couple of weeks, I think. So just kind of a sneak peek there. And we'll try to put links here on the video after we put this through. So just kind of keep an eye out for links that will come onto the video description on YouTube after the fact, after this video comes out and we release some of those exciting things that are coming out. So again, you can get that free underwriting template at assistedlivinginvesting.net/grants. Now, those are all different ways that you can really get some creative juices going and helping you find ways to get the funding that you need to start your assisted living business. The one that I really wanted to focus on here, though, in today's video is working with private investors and what that looks like, because I think this is the one that a lot of people aren't as familiar with, and they need a little bit of guidance on exactly how to find private investors and what that all is going to look like for you. And so when you're working with a private investor, number one, you got to find them. So places where you can go to look for them are leveraging your network. This could be just people. Like you have people, I promise you, you have people in your network that have money and you just don't talk about it because you don't talk about money, but they are more than willing to do this. This could be an uncle or a nephew or an aunt or a grandma, or it could be a business associate that you have, or somebody at your local church, or it could be any number of things. And all you have to do is start opening your mouth and talking about the things that you want to do. I want to do this assisted living business, and what we're going to be doing. We're going to be serving elderly. The home's going to have 10 beds in it, and we're going to be serving people that just need help with, like, hey, helping them get dressed or toileting or bathing or those types of things. We're not a nursing home. We don't do that level of care, but we're still providing this service to people, and we really get to give back to the community. And I love doing it. Like, this is the type of thing that you need to be saying. You got to be excited about it. You got to tell people. You got to open your mouth, because otherwise people aren't going to know that you want to do assisted living. So you got to start talking about it to people. Like, I love that you're watching the video here, and you're on the live session, and you're talking to me, and asking questions and things like that. And that's good. But yeah, I'm a personality on on YouTube, right? I'm not the person that's going to do that. You got to go out and you got to do a little bit more than just watching the YouTube videos. You got to go out and start taking action, and doing those things and building relationships and letting people know that you want to do this. Go leverage your network. I would also encourage you to go to industry conferences and events. I know just this past week there was one, maybe even two down in Arizona. The Raw Academy one was going on, and I think there was another one down in Arizona as well. Go to those industry conferences. They are great networking opportunities. While I have my own coaching program and things like that, kind of like in competition with the Raw Academy. I will say that their on-site stuff, while I've never gone and done the 3-day intensive or whatever, I I leave that up to you. I don't have any. I can't give you testimonials on it or not. I know they upsell you on those, but what I do know is they're incredible networking events and great opportunities for you to go out there and do that. Go to some of these other conferences. Go start networking with people in the industry, because that's going to help you out a lot. And there's going to be people there that can provide you with funds. If it's not residential assisted living specific, go to real estate meetups, go to real estate conferences, and start building relationships there. It's really important for you to get out and say what you're excited about and say what you want to be doing. That's how you're going to meet people that are willing to do investments with you. Go join investment clubs. There's a lot of those. They can be local, they could be virtual. They're all over the place. Go just search for investment clubs near me. You can go in and look at those, and having your business plan ready to go, so you can speak intelligently to what that's going to look like when you're doing your elevator pitch, when you're in these clubs and things like that, is going to benefit you quite a bit as well. Use online platforms. There's crowdfunding websites. There's other places that you can go to just kind of go out and share deals that you have, and ways to get your information out there about what you are trying to invest in. So you utilize those, and also social media. Get on get on Facebook groups, get on LinkedIn, listen to podcasts, find out where people are at, and then go find them on LinkedIn and go follow them, and introduce yourself, and start talking about the things that you want to do, start building relationships. These are all ways that you can build relationships. The entire idea of working with private investors is very much a relationship business. It's very much you have to put yourself out there. You got to build relationships. You got to share what you want to do, and you're not going to find every single person that you talk to is going to want to invest with you, but you're going to find that there's 1, 2, 10 people that want to invest with you, but they have to get to know you a little bit more, as you're doing that. So you have to go out, you have to be a little bit vulnerable, you have to start talking about what you want to do, get excited about it, and that's going to let people catch the vision for where you want to go. You can't just go to an investment club or go to a conference and just be like, with the expectation that, hey, I'm going to go and I'm going to raise $1 million. It could happen for sure, but what's more likely is you're going to go there, you're going to start developing relationships with 20 people. You're going to start going down the path of, like, actually finding opportunities that work really well. You're going to start emailing people and saying, hey, this is what I've got, this is my business plan, underwriting looks solid. You've done all those business foundational fundamental things, and then you start really moving things along, and then you're starting to ask for funds funds, I need 200,000 for this, I need $1 million for this, I need $50,000 for this. But you've started building that relationship and building that trust with people. That's how you start working with investors. That's how you start raising private funds. If you want to start this business in 6 months from now, you got to start today building relationships with people, with those private investors. I'm actually working on some resources that are going to allow those that are more on the investment side, that have funds, to give me their information. I've got to work with attorneys just to make sure I do it all correctly so I don't get in any trouble. But there will be some information coming out on that hopefully soon. And then for those that are in the mastermind program, you'll get there will be some level of access to those individuals. So if that's something that people are interested in, this just stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe, like the video, ring the bell, all of those things, because then I know that that's something that's going to be beneficial for you as well. Now, as you're getting into this, there are some pitfalls that I want you to avoid as well, as you are starting to get down this path of trying to raise funds to work and start investing in assisted living. I don't want you to get over leveraged. And by that, what I mean is don't just be like, don't get so caught up in a deal that looks so incredible on paper, but then you are putting all of your eggs in one basket. You're putting all of your money there, and if it doesn't work, then you lose everything. I don't want you to do that. I want you to go through this. I want you to underwrite it. I want you to make sure that you're comfortable with it. I don't want you to put all of your money into one thing. I want you to make sure that you feel confident, that you run this all conservatively, that you know what you're getting into. Because it can, while I believe in this world, I love investing in assisted living. I think it is the future. I really do. I think it's an incredible way for you to make an impact on people and then also do well financially for yourself. That doesn't mean every single deal is perfect, and it doesn't mean that every single opportunity is going to be the best one, and that you an opportunity just because it's in front of you. And you shouldn't be putting everything that you have into one single deal, because then you can get over leveraged, you can get upside down, and things can go bad. I've had businesses that have failed in the past, and I know how frustrating and just it can really cause a lot of mental health issues, anxiety, depression. It can really put you in a really bad spot. And one day I'll talk a little bit more about my situation there, and what that went through for me, my family, and extended family. But it was rough, and we got a little over leveraged in that situation. And I want you to avoid those things. I don't want you to put everything in one basket. I want you I want you to also not neglect any of your relationships, personal, but also just the other relationships that you have with people. You have to maintain those things with other investors and things like that, so that when opportunities do come up, and they will, I promise you they will, you're going to find a perfect deal for you. You are ready to jump on that when it comes. And I don't want you to rush through the process. In my mastermind program, it's a year-long program, and it's because we spend a chunk of time, a really good chunk of time, building that business foundation, because I know how important it is. If you want some help and guidance as you go through that, go to alimastermind.com, apply for the mastermind. I'd love to see what I can do to help you out. But you cannot rush this process. You have to figure things out. You have to go through the steps. Once you find the right opportunity and you're comfortable with it, things will start to go fast. But you have to make sure that you know what you're getting into, and exactly what that's going to look like for you. So avoid those pitfalls. Make sure you're taking the right steps. Don't get over leverage. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Make sure you maintain those relationships with everybody around you, and everything will be fine. And you're going to make it through this, and you're going to start that business. Everything's going to work great, and it's going to be awesome. Just do it the right way. So if you need help with that, go apply to the mastermind, alimastermind.com. So while people are typing up questions, please go ahead, and I want to remind you as well to like the video, subscribe, and ring the bell as well, so you get notified. We go live on Tuesdays, and then we do the long form videos on Thursdays that get released as well. So I want to make sure that you get all of those. Go join the Facebook group as well. We have some extra things that go out on Facebook with questions and things that I try to do to get people engaged, and love talking with people there. And then make sure you comment any of your things down below, questions or things like that that you might have. So um, yes, if there's any questions, please go ahead and type those in now. And just want to remind everybody as well to thank you for watching. I love helping people kind of get through this process, and helping them understand exactly what they need to do to launch their assisted living business. Does residential assisted living sound interesting to you, but you're not sure how to get started? At assistedlivinginvesting.net, I'm here to help you, like beginners like you, launch their assisted living business in the next 12 months. I love doing it. I want to remind you to go grab that business plan checklist at assistedlivinginvesting.net/BP checklist so I can help you out with that. Yeah, not a problem. Thanks, Vita. And thanks, Nicole. Thanks everybody for being on here. I love chatting with you guys, even if you're not asking questions or things like that. It's so much fun to see a handful of people on here and chat with you, and see where you're at on the process. Feel free to type in any questions that you've got. And with that, I will talk to you next week. Thanks, everybody, and have a great week. Remember, it doesn't take a lot, just a little bit. Keep going step by step by step. And I promise you, if you do and you're consistent and persistent, you're going to be successful. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.